The next time you buy a box of cornbread mix at the store, check the sell-by date, because there's one brand that has been selling it for over 170 years. Here's how it and your other favorite box mixes stack up. Martha White is a brand that dates back to 1899. Over the years, the brand has grown a large product line. Within the cornbread box mix category alone, Martha White offers several varieties, including gluten-free yellow cornbread, buttermilk cornbread, sweet yellow cornbread, and so many other solid, affordable options. However, many reviews of the yellow cornbread note that though this mix is not overly sweet, the flavor is not great. Reviewers note that it bakes up rather small, dry, and crumbly. While you may not enjoy this product as cornbread, you could use it for stuffing or dressing mix instead. Otherwise, you'll probably want to stay away from this brand. From cookies to muffins to cake mixes and more, Betty Crocker is a household name, and the brand's cornbread is no exception. The Betty Crocker cornbread and muffin mix is your classic cornbread mix requiring milk, butter, and an egg. But apparently, this cornbread mix is not one of Betty Crocker's best. Reviews of this product reveal that many people strongly dislike the cornbread mix. Some reviewers suggest that the formula must have changed recently, and they do not seem fond of the change. Many reviews note that the mix is gritty and dry, with one calling it the worst ever. Trader Joe's often has amazing prices and unique specialty ingredients, and their cornbread mix is offered in regular and gluten-free forms. This classic cornbread mix is made with milk, egg, and oil, just like many other cornbread mix brands. One interesting quality about this cornbread mix is that it contains dried corn kernels. When the cornbread bakes, the corn kernels rehydrate and provide a nice hearty texture and crunch. But reviewers point out that this mix in both regular and gluten-free bakes up too sweet, making it feel too close to cake instead of cornbread. While tasting slightly sweet is a welcome quality in a cornbread mix, an overly sweet, cake-like taste is not welcome. What a way to ruin a good cornbread! Stonewall Kitchen started back in 1991 by selling their jams and jellies at local farmers markets in Maine, according to their website. Now, their brands sell all sorts of products, including their Stonewall Kitchen cornbread mix, which is available for purchase on their website and at select specialty stores across the nation in both regular and gluten-free varieties. Reviews of this cornbread mix vary widely. Some reviewers suggest that the cornbread mix is overly sweet and lacks firmness, crumbling too easily. However, many reviews alternatively mention that it is the world's best cornbread. Whether or not you like it may depend on your tolerance for sweetness. Williams-Sonoma is a store that sells many kitchen products and home goods, but they also carry many specialty upscale food products. Within their baking mix section offering, they carry cookie mixes, brownie mixes, bread mixes, muffin mixes, and of course, cornbread mix. They even got the Barefoot Contessa to give tips on how to make it.
The other secret to my cornbread is that I let the batter sit for 15 minutes and it's so moist. All the difference in the world.
The brand's cornbread mix is available in regular and gluten-free varieties and provides an easy solution to a weeknight dinner side dish. It creates a savory cornbread that has a not too dense but not too crumbly texture. The one drawback, however, is a pretty big one: price. If you want to spend over $12 on a cornbread mix, this is the one for you. But otherwise, there are cheaper options that are as good or better. Marie Callender's is most well known for its extensive and delicious pie selection, which ranges in options from key lime to pecan to apple to peach. In addition to pies, though, this brand also carries many baking mixes, 3 of which are for cornbread. Marie Callender's cornbread mix is unique in that it only requires you to mix with water and bake. No oil, milk, or eggs are needed here. That makes boxed cornbread even easier. Reviews of this cornbread mix note that the mix can even be made in the microwave. While some praise the brand for its good texture, others mention that it is dry and overly sweet. Decide for yourself if that trade-off is worth the extra ease in preparation. Wholesome is a brand devoted to harvesting fair trade sugar and supporting sustainable agriculture. While they are known for carrying a variety of different sweeteners, they also offer a line of baking mixes, including products such as oat muffin mix, golden cake mix, oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie mix, and, naturally, cornbread mix. The Wholesome Sweet Blue Corn cornbread mix is unique in that it utilizes blue corn instead of yellow corn. Blue corn may not necessarily be more nutritious, but it does add an interesting touch of color to your dinner table that you're probably not going to get with any other cornbread brand. And it also tastes good. It's not too sweet, and this cornbread bakes up into a dense, hearty loaf. Add in the unusual color appeal, and this is a good, if offbeat, choice. Pioneer was founded back in 1851 and sells many food products, including baking mixes, gravy mixes, pancake mixes, seasoning mixes, and flours. Their cornbread mix can be used to make cornbread, cornbread stuffed mushrooms, and even cornbread pie. Reviews note that this cornbread mix is best cooked in a cast iron skillet, a true Southern-style technique. However, if you don't have a cast iron skillet, you will still enjoy this cornbread mix and its many, many uses. With just a hint of sweetness, the taste of the cornbread is superb. But be careful not to overbake, as it can easily burn if you don't keep a close watch on it.
Oh, your mother must be very proud of you.
Well, as a matter of fact,
yes, do get Pioneer cornmeal. It's good.
If you have ever dabbled in homemade from-scratch baking, you are likely very familiar with Fleischmann's. They are known for their yeast products, including rapid rise yeast, pizza dough yeast, active dry yeast, and bread machine instant yeast. But they also have a focus on cornbread. Their Simply Homemade brand currently seems to only make one thing, and that's boxed cornbread mix. So, how is it? Reviews reveal that it's a pretty popular option. Many reviewers note that it is not too sweet, and it's also moist and not gritty at all. While some note that its texture is too similar to cake, others claim that it's perfect. Famous Dave's is best known as a barbecue restaurant, but in recent years, they've started selling many barbecue food products, including barbecue sauce, seasonings, marinades, cornbread mix, and pickles. These products are sold directly off their website, so they're easy to get your hands on if you're curious. While many of these products are tasty, we think that the cornbread mix is the best of them. Their delicious cornbread mix is reviewed highly, with many fans nationwide. Reviewers of this cornbread box mix note that this mix is easy to make and holds up well when baked without getting too crumbly. Additionally, some people mention that this cornbread is not too sweet, but it does have a slightly sweet corn taste. While some cornbread mixes can bake up too dry, this one bakes up very moist. Miracle Maize produces a sweet cornbread and muffin mix that fans love. While Miracle Maize may not be the most well-known brand out there, they certainly know what they're doing when it comes to cornbread. Many reviewers note that this cornbread mix tastes very similar to homemade, from-scratch cornbread, which is ideal. Even if you're going to make cornbread from a box, you don't want it to taste like it's from a box, right? Many customers swear by this brand and are deeply loyal to it. With just the right amount of sweetness and moisture, this cornbread comes out moist and full of flavor. And while many boxed cornbread mixes can pack in too many ingredients, this boxed mix only contains minimal ingredients with no lard or oils. Bob's Red Mill is known for their large variety of flours, including unique health-focused blends such as paleo baking flour, tapioca flour, cassava flour, and hazelnut flour, to name a few. If you are following a special diet or need to bake for someone with food allergies, Bob's Red Mill will probably have exactly what you're looking for. Their cornbread mix comes in regular or gluten-free varieties, so everyone can enjoy baking. Reviews of the regular cornbread mix show that most of their customers choose it for health reasons, as the mix does not contain any artificial ingredients and is made from minimal ingredients. Reviewers also note that this cornbread mix is quick, delicious, and healthy, with one calling it the best there is. Krusteaz debuted back in 1932, and the brand carries many mixes for muffins, cookies, brownies, breads, cakes, and even oat bites. They have many types of cornbread mixes available as well, including gluten-free, southern, and fat-free versions. The classic Krusteaz honey cornbread mix is a favorite of boxed cornbread lovers. Krusteaz suggests pouring in some easy add-ins for variety, including green onions and cheese, parmesan and herbs, pico de gallo and chili powder, or even corn, jalapeno, and cheddar. While these add-ins sound tasty, cornbread purists will likely enjoy it as is. It's nice and moist, and you get a pleasant, subtle sweetness from the inclusion of honey. If you do want to take advantage of those extras though, you can make a dish that's really something special. Your guests may not even realize that your cornbread isn't homemade when you decide to use this mix. Zatarain specializes in New Orleans-style products, including a large variety of flavored rice mixes, frozen entrees, breading and frying mixes, and more. But maybe their best product is their delicious cornbread mix. Reviews of the honey butter cornbread mix note that this boxed cornbread is the closest you will find to homemade cornbread, which is high praise indeed. With this brand, you get all of the taste with none of the effort. And if you somehow know someone who doesn't normally like cornbread, reviewers also mentioned that this cornbread has a cake-like consistency which is sure to please. Plus, this brand is widely available at stores across the nation, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. Jiffy Corn Muffin Mix feels like an all-American staple. The packaging looks straight out of the 1950s and makes this mix look like a classic. Jiffy carries several cornbread mixes: corn muffin mix, honey corn muffin mix, and vegetarian corn muffin mix. You may be asking why it's necessary to have a vegetarian corn muffin mix, as most people would assume cornbread is vegetarian by default. So, it's important to note that their original corn muffin mix contains lard. If you're vegetarian, or just find the idea of lard in your cornbread to be weird, we'd recommend choosing the vegetarian corn muffin mix. Having said that, reviews of the classic Jiffy Corn Muffin Mix reveal that it is delicious and consistent. This mix is easy to make, and many reviewers point out that it also makes for an inexpensive addition to any meal that you positively won't want to share.
You can't have my cornbread, that's for damn sure. Because if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna begin up in here on your ass right now.